Welcome to adding an agent inside my toolbox. Hey, I'm Eric, and this video is recorded on Halloween. So if you hear fireworks in the background, it's not because I'm gonna show you something spectacular. I hope you think there's fireworks in this, but it's because it's Halloween, and Halloween in Canada is a fireworks night for some reason. So that's how it is. What we're going to talk about today is that I've been doing some stuff. I've been adding an agent inside my toolbox because everything's needs an agent these days. And I want to give you a chance to actually have a say, not have a say whether there's an agent or not. That's not what this video is about. But what am I missing? What could be cool to do with this agent that it cannot do right now? So this is really one of those where I'm waiting for you to comment down below. And tell me if I'm mad, tell me if this is cool, tell me if you have a good idea to improve it, to come up with something. So anyway, let me show you what I'm talking about. So here is my toolbox, and it basically looks like it had been looking for the last couple of years. You write code on the left and you get the output on the right. Now the output panel is slightly different because you can see that this is now an agent, a chat UI, and the way it's gonna be at some point when this is actually released is that if you activate the coding agent here and you plug in a large language model, then that will be used. And as usually now, maybe that whatever something is with AI from me, you get a choice. You get a choice of using Azure OpenAI, ChatGPT, Anthropic, or LM Studio. At some point, when Microsoft figures out the whole how we can use their Business Central resources that you buy from them, then that might be supported also, but for now you have to get an API key from one of the above or below those. LM Studio, of course, if you want to run your own, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to do that right now because my old PC here struggles if I try to record a video and run a large language model at the same time because everything uses the same GPU right now. But maybe in the future. Anyway, so right now I have Claude activated here, and I think that the final version will actually have one more field here. It will specify, so you can specify the model from the provider. For some reason that's not in here right now, but it will. Anyway, so actually want to just make sure that we all know what the toolbox are doing if you are a toolbox newbie. So I turn this off, I go back in, and now it's the old format. So if I create a super simple script here, message hello world, and I click run, it runs. And because you see hello, normally if I turn this off and then I run again, we get what you would expect this program to do. So the toolbox enables you to write a variety of almost AL and run it directly. That's the toolbox. That's one part of the toolbox. There's many other things, but that's the one we're playing with today. So let me put this back in here. So I turn the coding agent on. So if I do the exact same thing again, message hello world here. So now the agent knows what's in this one. So I can see, I can ask What's that program doing? And one thing that we'll notice here that this seems slower. It's not actually slower, but this is of course built in AL, and we have the HTTP client functionality, but it does not allow for streaming replies. So we get the entire reply before I can show anything. So I cannot show that it's typing on the way, because the current HTTP client functionality we have in AL does not support a streaming output. Not output as a stream, it does that, but as a streaming, so we get it step by step. Anyway, this is a very simple ToolBox program, just displays hello world to the console when you click run. It's the most basic program possible. This appears to be a starter template or example program. Would you like me to help you modify it to something more useful, like working with Business Central data or the attached Excel sheet? Friendly. So the agent, there is a system prompt. There's a system prompt telling the agent the context it's in. I'm gonna clear this one, so you can kind of clear the agent. So you otherwise whatever has happened in the conversation will be part of all this. Whenever we ask something about it, the program that's on here is actually always supplied as kind of part of the system prompt, so you always know what's in your program. But let's say we grab a more complicated one. So here is a program, and we can see that it runs through the customers, and it locates the one with the largest balance, and it also creates something. So a ToolBox program has an Excel sheet attached, and there's some extra commands in this version of AL, xset and xget and a couple of other Excel commands. But anyway, so let's do that again. What does this program do? This program, ToolBox program, analyzes customer balances in Business Central and does the following: iterate through the customer records, calculate and track the largest balance, outputs to the console, export to Excel, has a safety limit, the loop stop whenever all customers have been processed or 10 customers has been processed, which is right. Final output, after processing, display the largest customer balance found. In summary, this is a customer balance analysis tool. It's a demo program that finds the customer with the highest balance. Right, so we run it, and we get this. So change this so it will. Change this so it will output the name of the customer with the largest balance. Here's modified code that will output the name. So I have not been able to actually color syntax color this in here. That might be for a future version. That's really actually sort of complicated to do. The changes added a new variable, large balance customer name, text to store the name of customer. When updating large balance, also store that one. Modify. So right now it says, hey, here's a piece of code. We could of course just copy paste and do the thing, but we can also say use the code from this reply, and it changes the program. So now we run it. We get the output, and it tells us the largest balance is for customer data. That's very agentic, isn't it? I think it is. Okay, let's do something else. So we'll clear this agent, we'll clear the program here, So now we're blank. So I think it was what I did on LinkedIn that created all the stir. I wrote Fibonacci and nothing else actually. Fibonacci. So the agent is very context aware. It knows that, hey, this is a toolbox. It knows that a toolbox program is limited to a subset of AL and so on. I'll create a Fibonacci sequence, generate for you. Let me write a toolbox AL program that calculates this. Duk, 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 duk. Oh, here we go. And it even decides to also update the Excel sheet with Fibonacci. So this program looks good. So we click run. It worked. Fibonacci sequence generator. So a nice thing about the output here is that if the program now outputs, and that was an improvement just from the regular toolbox, that if the program outputs markdown, it will format it nicely in here. We get Fibonacci, this looks right, and writing to Excel. So what do we have in Excel? We have the Fibonacci in the Excel sheet also, so we can actually download an Excel sheet with the Fibonacci numbers. Okay. That's fun, I think. Okay. Let's try something else, because you could argue that this is just me goofing around, and it is. I totally admit that. But how about this one? So create a program that will create a transfer order, test it with item 1900-S, 10 pieces from west to east, inventory location. So let's say we need to, so I'll help you create a program to transfer order in Business Center. First, let me check the available tables for transfer orders. So here is a MCP kind of functionality, because now it needs to know what tables we have. So it show me tables is an internal MCP call that will now return the whatever tables we have here. Oh, we already got a program. I'm still talking. And then now let me check the fields for the transfer header and transfer line table. Show me fields, show me fields. Now I'll create a program to create a transfer order with the test data you specified. So we got a create a transfer order function, create transfer header. Create a transfer line. We got a var set test pieces. Create transfer order. So the only thing we need to do, let's run it, right? Let's see what happens. Created, it ran. And here's the great thing about the large language model, that you see, it knew that, okay, we'll work. We actually did not say anything about what date it was, so it defaulted to work date. It just worked. So, but it gave the transfer order a number. So change it so that it uses the number series by inserting a blank header. Now I think I've ran into an issue where sometimes then it will not take my thing. So that's a bug. Huh, that's interesting. That is a bug. Okay, let's just clear this agent. Let's see. Oh, that is a bug. That needs to be. You don't have to. Do not on the comments below say, Eric, fix that bug. I know. So what I'm trying to do, I'll modify the code to use a number series by inserting a blank header first, which will trigger the central number series assignment. So we'll use this code. Let's run it. See how if that works. Duk duk duk. Runtime error, unsupported variable type code. That is a ToolBox issue, I think. So what happened here, that right now it says, okay, there is a runtime, there's an error, so we pass that error directly in and ask the large language model to take a look at that. The error suggested issues with the code variable type. Let me fix the code by simplifying the variable declaration, ensuring proper syntax for the... Let's use this code, which for some reason I don't think I can now. So it might be the same bug. Might be the same bug. This is why this is not yet in. Let's just copy it in here and run it again. Now it worked. So there was a bug. The main channel was replacing all code variables with type text. I think that is probably it. That sounds like an Eric bug. I'll as soon as I'm done recording here, I will take a look at that also. But that's a real program, right? That's a use case if you suddenly have stuff that you need to. So how about change it so that you use the Excel sheet with a list of transfers needed. Column 1 equal item number, call 2 equal quantity, 3 from location, and call 4 is destination location. And I would really love to be able to show the progress on the way, but then I need to convince Microsoft that we need a. I'll modify the code, so let's see now we got way more, but I don't have the blue box here. Interesting. So I can say that in order to let me focus on what's important, this thing is a open source chat component that seems very capable, but I'm still wrangling the last effort out of this. So to use this, fill your Excel sheet like this. So it says item number equal Excel. So as long as it's find an item number, do this. So if we go into the Excel sheet here, and then we say 19S as a text in this one, and then we do 45 as a number, some EC. East, that's a text. I know this is kind of weird. And west is also text. So that's clearly something. We need to have two, of course, otherwise. Hang on. Item numbers. I should know this by now. 1906 Summer Olympics. Text. Something 12 number. From west. Text to east. Text. Aha. Run. Start from row 2, assuming row 1 has header. So let's change that to a 1 and say run again. And now we got transfer order 7 is the 45 and 8 is the 12. Transfer orders. 7 was the 45. Haha. And 8 was the 12. I think that's a good place to stop. This is pretty good. And so far I have had the best AL result with Claude. Your mileage may vary. But I find this actually useful. If you're still with me and you are in Europe and you might be joining Directions this week, look us up. The Hogarth booth is there, and I'll have this version at least available for us to play with if you're around. So come and see me. If you're not at Directions, you just need to watch more videos. This one is a good one. It's for you. I'll see you there also. Take care. Bye.